Do you understand the futility? If you are what you're looking for, using what you're looking for to look for it, I mean, that's hit you, yes? And if it's hit you and you're not knocked out, it'll hit you again. But it's in that futility where the relief is, yeah? Because futility recognized can be an incredible relief. Futility denied just keeps increasing the futility, yeah? You're not going to be successful if the underlying premise of non-duality is true, and that's what we're hoping for or sensing, that being ourselves reality negates any idea of arriving or departing, yes? Yeah? So any distance is imaginary, any time apart from is imaginary. So what better, where would the wisdom be when looking? It would be looking at using what's looking to look for it, yeah? Just to see who that is or what that is. And that's what I feel like when Ramana supposedly sat for years silent, and I think he shared after he came out of it, he just expected that people were going to get it, just the presence by sitting there, but they didn't. Yeah. Now, that's not an unusual expectation. If all there is presence, you would imagine presence would get that. Yeah. But it didn't work. So then he came up with something that was actually presented in the oldest seeming scriptures in the dreaming, which are the Vedas, yeah, at least known. And it was the thing of self-inquiry. He put out a little 3-page thing. He didn't put it out, they printed it. But he just basically said, well, if they're not getting it this way, let's ask who am I to see who is it that's not getting it. So maybe if you see you're not that which is not getting it, you'll see that there's no getting it. You are it, don't you? It's just, yeah, it was. So the whole self-inquiry, in a way, the newest version was born out of futility. He had sort of a futility. He figured just the transmission of presence would be sufficient, and it wasn't. People would, because of this act of being identified as the something else. And in time, it's so quick. Before you know it, you are it. Yeah. Without knowing it, you are already taken to be that. And then all the knowledge that comes after that to try to deny that only is used to reinforce it. Because it's the you that you're not that's trying to deny, yeah, the you that you're not. Yeah. They make it's sort of like, this isn't like a giant maze or a labyrinth for rats. It's a very small hall. And there's only like, it goes only like 5 feet. You just ask, who am I? And then you see that which is asking the who am I, and that which is seemingly being asked, neither of them are you. It's a negation, quick, very fast, yeah? And what do you sense when you're not trying to sense it as this or that? You sense presence, yeah? And you were expecting something to appear, but you can expect something to appear forever if it's never not got there. If it's always in appearance, you're never going to see it appear. Yeah. Like Ramana talks about it in his writings with the talks of Ramana. He says, this thing is always realized. So you don't realize it because it's always realized. Yeah. So, yeah, it's not like it wasn't so and then it suddenly becomes so to you. It's always been so. So, and of course, when the action figure sees empty space, it's waiting to see something to appear in it. But the empty space that's left when the asker of who am I and the asked of who am I get negated. Yeah. they're like two clouds that looking at each other at the same time, and they're gone. And then there's your original face, which isn't a face. It's space. Yeah. So you are never going to appear, period, because you're not of appearance, first of all. So if you're waiting for it to show up, it ain't showing up because it never hasn't been here. Yeah. What needs to be done is to negate the obstacles, which is the one who's asking and the one who's asked. Yeah, this is non-duality. Yeah, so all right, I'm going to practice who am I? Who is asking the question, who am I, and to whom? They're both ghosts. Yeah. So the thing is, you usually don't get them at the same time. You usually get something and then it's observed by itself as something else. So there's the observed and then there's the observing. But the who am I gets them at the same time. So that which is asking and that which is asked are in the same room at the same time. And finally, if you only see one, there's a feeling of a reality of the other. But when there's no seeing of the two, it's not two. Bamo. Yeah. The observer, the observed and the observer, bamo, like that. And there you are. Now, of course, a second later, the head as you, the you that you're not, shows up and wants to get it or thinks it lost it. So it's like you go, you are what you're looking for, and it keeps trying to swivel its head super fast so it can see it. It can't because you are what you're looking for. Not that you that seems to represents the looking for it. You're not that. Yeah. So negation to me is the only way, in a sense. The only way in no way would be negation. And this is no way, yet there seems to be a way to it, which is negation. Yeah. Because the appearances get like blown. All right, I'm the one asking, who am I? And then I'm waiting for the one I'm asking to respond, and I see they negate, and there I am. Yeah. How many times has what you believe was you stop and there was something still witnessing it? I don't like the idea of a witness, but the witnessing of it, or the noticing of it, or the awareness of it, and that's got to leave a mark. Yeah. Because there was an assumption, this was you, suddenly it stops. And yet something continues. And then that thing that continues never stopped or started to continue. It's always here. And like it said, it's always realized. So then Ramana gave you that old story, very famous one. And if you follow the subtlety of it, it's very profound, I feel, about the woman who believes she's lost this incredible necklace. And she's so sure that she's lost it, she's really bummed out because the necklace, she gave it a lot of credit for everything going well in her life. And suddenly the necklace is gone and she's sort of bummed out. Yeah. And she's becomes almost inconsolable because of the loss of the necklace. And she's talking to her friends, and then she has her friends sign up to help her find the necklace. And they're all out to lunch, so they're thinking, all right, sure. And then they hear about some guy speaking up in the north that says he found a necklace. And so they go up there and they start attending those meetings to find their necklace. Yeah. And then they come back and they have to pay to go back again. And, there's more study and investigation to find the necklace. And then how you must be worthy to have it again, and all this shit, all surrounding you, the you that you're not. And then they come back once again without the necklace. And somebody else says, hey, listen, what's going on? And she says, oh, Virginia lost the necklace. And she's just unconsolable. And he goes, what? And he goes, Virginia, don't believe me. Just put your hand on your neck. And suddenly, finally, she actually checks it out and she feels the necklace. Okay. All illusion, boom, no, because now she feels like she found it. It's still the belief that it was lost is still there, and now she believes she feels blissful and super happy based on finding the necklace, but she had never lost the necklace. So what was that but dreaming? She was dreaming a loss and all of this inconsolable shit, and now she's dreaming a finding, and now she's blissed out and happy. But the Course of Miracles would say those are uncaused effects because the necklace wasn't lost. So all these feelings were attributed to losing the necklace. The necklace wasn't lost. And all of these feelings, these nice feelings, were attributed to finding the necklace. It wasn't lost. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. Even when she's told, there's the necklace, with the assumption that she's going to get it, it's always been there, she doesn't. She gets that it was lost, and somehow somebody did something miraculously to find it again. And now her feelings are completely different based on the found necklace, but it was always there. So what are those feelings? They're uncaused effects. Yeah. So basically she's dreaming. Yeah? She dreamt the loss of the necklace. She's dreaming the finding the necklace. The necklace could be called spiritual attainment in this example. Yes. So you feel it's a stubborn thing when people maybe begrudgingly admit you're somewhere or something is coming through you, and then they want to know what happened. Yeah. How did this occur to you being at this point where I see you as somewhat different than me? So tell me what you did. And then you basically say, well, I didn't do anything. Oh, come on. You practice this, you Course in Miracles. I said, okay, so here we go. Yes, in the dreaming, it looks like I did something to arrive at a place where an effect that's always there was produced, but that's the story that gets negated from the necklace itself. When you find the necklace, when you check it out, it's obvious it was never lost. Yes? The necklace doesn't say, oh, I am a cherished, fucking exotic, incredibly rare necklace that you lost, you motherfucker, and now you've gained it. Hallelujah. No, it's basically hasn't moved. The necklace didn't go anywhere. Yeah. Yeah. So this is basically the story, another story to imply the ever-present at all times of what we are. Yeah. And the point that it's being in a weird way held hostage by what we're not, because what we're not wants it to appear to it. Yeah. It wants physical thing-like evidence, and there's not going to be any. Yeah. Some people, the presence is strong. Remember this guy, it was pretty interesting. I did something with him in Dublin. He was a Western Dzogchen teacher, Tibetan thing. And so he would send me stuff on Facebook, and he sent me this thing about a famous Dzogchen guy in Tibet that everyone in that world said, this guy's enlightened. And now people were getting confused because now he entered dementia, the action figure of this Tibetan Lama. And he didn't know what, he thought he was a bowling ball or something. You know what I mean? It was just like this. And it was very frustrating because the people thought he was enlightened, like he was the source of the enlightenment. And then now he seems to be the source of dementia. Yeah. So this is the craziness of it. Yeah. Just like when people from the West, they heard Ramana crying out because he had terrible pain in his thing, and they thought that disqualified him because their body cried out, which the body is wont to do if it's in pain. They were thinking he was the body. He was the body awakened. That's not fucking true. Yeah. This is the point, is recognizing it's not only available now to you, it's always available at all times with no requirement necessary other than the ones you make up, other than the ones you fucking believe. Because Jesus, I humbly believe, they captured him saying one thing a lot when there was a healing, but he probably was saying it all the time. It's done according to your belief. He could have said, hey, why did I buy that salmon instead of the halibut? It's done according to your belief. Yeah, you thought the halibut was fresher than the salmon. Whatever. He could have said, why did I make a right turn? It was done according to your belief. Yeah, but they only have the healings. But basically, he was like a hot one-hit wonder. Hey, it's done according to your belief. It's according to your faith. Hey, if you had the faith, which you surely do, the faith the size of a mustard seed, it could move mountains. Yeah. Who is he talking to? Something completely bereft of faith? No, faith. Yeah. Faith being obscured by the identification as with a thing. Yeah. And that faith seeming to be turned into a faith now. Like a a a vehicle called Catholicism, which is a faith that I drive somewhere with. When faith is a force here, just like dark matter or gravity, faith is what propels manifestation. Faith, as Jesus was saying, it's you know it's done according to your belief or your faith. Exactly, everything is. Even in the course, in the big book of recovery, it says, hey, you're going to come to realize that faith had something to do with everything at all times. What? Yeah. Yeah. Not you, but faith. Yeah. So what would grow faith but something that is faithful, so to speak? Yeah. When your faith lands on the truth, yeah. Let's just look at what faith does when it lands on imagination. You can make mountains out of molehills. Yeah. Could you imagine that same faith that's being used to produce the sense of fear when there's no apparent threat, just mental anxiety producing tons of fucking feelings of, something's going to happen, all this stuff. That's all based on faith. Yes. Yes. If you lose faith in the thoughts lose the power they have over you, for sure. We usually talk at the movement of faith that may not be able to be registered by a machine can be seen through the language, the word my faith, my thoughts, my feelings, my this, my that. That is a giant amplification of faith. Yeah. And so whatever comes after is giving a huge meaning by that little my that comes before. And a thought that you have that ruins your day, if I see it as yours, will not ruin my day. But the same thought held as mine could ruin my day. That's faith. What else can it be? Yeah. What else can it be? How can something have such a meaning and then without changing any letter or any capital or whatever, or the how you wrote it or the cursiveness, whatever, yeah, not changing any of that, changing the whole meaning of it with the word my before it. Yeah. And so we are that which is before things here. Yeah. We are not a thing. We are that which is before things. Yeah. So this faith is moving things constantly. And recovery as an action figure, because that's what recovery is concerned with, gives you only two possibilities: faith in finite self or faith in the infinite, basically. And what do? Tell the truth where the faith lies. You can see its imprints, you can see its markings, you can get a sense of it, even though there's no figure to look at or capture, but you can tell something. Yeah. And so you see where the faith lies. If it's faith in the finite self, start telling the truth. And I'll tell you, the most of the faith in the finite self is that it's you. If you see it as something foreign to you, the faith is going to leave it. Yeah. But there's so much faith in it as you. Yeah. It's the one that's having faith in everything else. It's insane. Yeah. So if someone says you've got to quit playing God, this is a statement in recovery. It's the primary statement, really. It's very important. It says, got to quit playing God. It doesn't work. Very simple. Now, when I heard that, I felt like I must be playing God. So now I have another order that I'm not going to be able to do, which is quit playing God. So I felt like more burden was coming on me. And this is why a lot of people don't want to know stuff, because if they know stuff in a certain way, it adds more burden. So they much rather be blissfully ignorant than to know shit. Yeah. But in this case, I was mistaken. That meaning that was given to the statement, playing God, was completely off. Yeah. And through time, I realized I am not that which is playing God. The head is playing God, but I am not playing God. The head is playing God, and my quitting playing God is losing interest in the head. Yeah. And where does that show? In the foundation of the transfer of faith, which is my. Yeah. When that word my weakened, the meanings that was being given through that bridge of my changed. So you can see it's so simple. Money, my money. Money, I want everyone here to have a lot of money. My money, I don't want you to have any of my money. Yeah. That's how extreme it can be all day, every day. Yeah. And what's driving it? Not the my, but the faith in it. Yeah. So the easiest, simplest way to get some relief from this bondage of self is see that you're not a self. Yeah. Just like if I was interested in somebody speaking in another room and I thought I was going to have a life with them and whatever and have maybe kids. And so the head has given a lot of meaning to it and I'm listening to it. And I'm not really paying attention here. Someone comes here and throws a book at me and says, How to Lose Interest in Another Room. I read it, I understand it, but I still can't stop. And then suddenly the lady says something and she says, I like Matt and my name is Paul. I immediately lose interest in that conversation in the other room. I do. Do I have to send like a Navy SEAL 6 team to retrieve it? No. It's almost like that ball just bounces back. Yeah. Now, can you imagine if when that ball bounces back and it finds itself as itself, which is presence, yeah, there's going to be every time the ball bounces back from these things, there's going to be a little bit of interest and attention that doesn't go get bounced again. Yeah. And that's feeling the presence of what you are in this life. And that's going to really be that which tips the scales in traveling lighter. It is. I don't know how, you can't measure it, but you'll know it when it does. When it flips it, it could be 51%, maybe 88%. It could be 50.00.1. I don't know when it will, but you'll know it when the scale gets tipped, because things that seem to be difficult will be quite easy. Yeah, you'll be able to enjoy peace of mind, not setting up the setting in the room, not turning everything off, anything. No, a peace of mind will be readily available. Yeah, because there'll be an aspect of you that's not in constant movement anymore. Yeah. And there's rest there. That's why they call it an abidance in the truth. Abidance is like a rest that doesn't get agitated. Yeah. You can abide there. And now you have enough to deal with a day, but you never had enough to deal with 40 fucking years at once. Yeah. So the interest and attention is now enriching you instead of enslaving you. Yeah. And then you watch it, and after years, it tells you that's its nature. You're not, when's it going to change? It doesn't. It just keeps enriching your day instead of enslaving your day. Yeah. Why not? Yeah. So I don't know what more would you want, really. If you don't want to transcend unless you could be there, you don't. Your head only wants to transcend if it could be there. It wants to, if it can't get it, it doesn't want it, really. Yeah. This is the beauty of the message, is because it starves this thing that will sign up for 50 years of becoming something, but has no interest in being it. Yeah. Becoming my authentic self, sign me up. Fucking 50 years. Yeah. Being, no. How much more do you need to see it? It's nature. It's like that story about a snake. The lady got surprised because she was nice to the snake. The snake broke the news to her. Hey, I'm a snake. That's what I do. I bite. So she got bitten by the snake. And to me, to the snake, there was no surprise. That's what the snake does. So it broke the news to her. Hey, I'm a snake. Yeah. Same thing. Same thing with this. Yeah. It's just the obviousness of it is looking for it, you miss it, obviously. Yeah. Because if something was here, would you be looking for it? If something was here, would you be looking for it? The only way you'd be looking for it is if you didn't think it was here. All of this losing things are imaginary when it comes to our essential nature. Yes? All of it is imaginary, like the lady with the necklace. Yeah? There's a looking for it, but the way you're looking for it, you're blind to what's already here. You don't see it. It happens with me because I have a subtle idea what the thing I lost looks like, and it doesn't look like that. So I go buy it, and then once I lose the interest in that preconceived way of looking. I find, oh, there it is. Yeah, it's a constant example. So the looking for it is the blindness to it. So seeker, seeking, sought. What happens if the seeking stops? The seeker is the emperor with no clothes. Yeah. Come here. The seeker is the emperor with no clothes. You see it for all what it is. Yeah. And then the seeker is the sought. Once you see the emperor with no clothes, yeah, as not that, and there it is. Yeah. Yeah. There you are. You are the seeing of the emperor with no clothes, to the point where the emperor can wear clothes every day henceforth, and you're still going to see the emperor has no clothes. It's beautiful, right? This can be done. This isn't done, but there's always the fear of losing it. It isn't done. You've got to be maintaining it no, it's done. You're finished. You're finished using what's looking to look for it. You're just done with it. And I hope every one of us has, well, it's past due of arriving there. Yeah. But basically, don't you see the looking for it is the blindness? If what's looking is already here, looking for it would be a denial of that. How does it become an affirmation of it? When? When does it become an affirmation of it? It can only affirm a concept that you are having of it. Yeah. The constantly looking for it, the idea that you found it is going to be a conceptual fucking idea, because the looking for it is a form of blindness to it. Yeah. It's not going to be, you're not going to succeed finding it by looking for it. Yeah. Because the search is unnecessary. The necklace never went anywhere. Yeah. You give it an inch, it makes up 10,000 miles. You ever hear those cryptic Zen things? You close your eyelid, it's 10,000 years. What the fuck? It's sort of like that. One little bit of looking for it has its disguise forever, for 70 years, maybe. Yeah, really. One little looking for it. Yeah. And then what happens when you get tired of looking for the keys? You find them usually. And they were right where you put them, but you forgot where you went and where you put them. But you exhaust yourself as a mini sort of spiritual life thing, a little half-hour segment, but an incredible sound principle. And then you get exhausted. All right, I'm going to take a break, and there they are. But if you keep looking for it, it prolongs the motherfucking thing. Yeah, it does. And we had a situation, it was so unbelievable because Amelia lost her iPad seemingly, and she had one of those trackers, and it kept beeping that the fucking iPad was in the car. We basically stripped the fucking car completely down. It wasn't there. Then we go back, ding, ding, ding. There it was. And know what happened? It had placed itself in the back of the glove compartment, and it fit seamlessly. And when you looked in the glove compartment, it looked like the wall of the fucking glove compartment. And beep, beep, we could not get it. It was that, how, I don't even know how it happened, but you know, where is it? And it was just, your head just assumed it was the wall. You didn't, yeah, wall. Never did it imagine that, could that be the iPad? I mean, it looked like someone fucking, like a Toyota engineer fucking put it in there. It was like perfect. Like, so, you're never gonna come, hey, let's feel it. There's the iPad, never. But we did finally, and we found it, you see? But the ideas of it, where it is and where it ain't, we're just prolonging the fucking imaginary search, and the thing's ding. I'm not going back to that car. It's got to, maybe it's under the ground here or something. Finally. Yeah. Did you see it though? The idea of it is a form of the blindness to it. Yeah. The concepts are not helping us other than pointing out the blindness that they help produce. Yeah. The concepts are not going to be lined up and become a stairway to heaven. They're not. They're concepts. They're obstructions because, again, you're trying to make sense of something that doesn't make sense to the mental logic. So then the mental logic conceptualizes it because it can digest that. It can eat that. Yeah. But the fucking emptiness and where is it? It cannot get, because that it's not built to get that. It's sort of like those, when the things in sand at the beaches, that metal detectors, it has no detector of nothing. It can't detect nothing. It can't. It can detect some things. It can, but it cannot pick up nothing. So all you have to, I think I got it. No. That's the beauty of it. The failing of it is the value. Yeah. Now, and it doesn't even matter how long it takes, because when it becomes obvious, it tells you on one way or another, it's always been this way. So time was not essential. Yeah, the time wasn't ticking off where that imaginary door is going to close, and then you have to wait like a cicada, a spiritual cicada, for 12 years for it to open again. No, it's fucking constantly always. It's an open secret, a gateless gate. Yeah, yeah. But if immediately you're going to miss what's here when you're looking there. Yeah, yeah. It's just the way it goes. So, I mean, I've got exhausted. And then that last coup de grace was that guy telling me I'm like a man standing by the river selling water. Yeah, and I started feeling wetness. I'm going, what? And then, it's even crazier. I'm a man standing in the river selling water. Adios, amigos. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. We love to deny our wetness by giving it to someone else. We like masters, we like saviors, but saviors aren't here to save. They're here to fail. Yeah. Just like I say, when you see the Buddha, shoot it. Why is that? Because your head's projecting your own Buddhahood on someone else to disguise it from you. Yeah. So kill the Buddha and you'll see that you are the Buddha. Yeah. Yeah. All right. If you don't understand it, great. Because this message is not about you. It's not to you. It is about you. It's not to you. Yeah. It's frustrating, man. I would have loved to try to figure it out. But an action figure already sets up the defeat. The action figure is always acting, moving. And the stillness of what we are can't be picked up by the plotting to try to get something. Yeah. Well, whatever. I've done the best I can, really. It's not what you will think it is. It's just an ease and comfort. Ends that you thought were ends aren't seen as ends. Time doesn't seem as important. The most noble calling has already been completed. You are what you're looking for. All the mental punishment, purgatories and limbos and all these things are going to go away like this day does when you go to sleep tonight. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So it's nice when you're relieved from that bondage of trying to look for what can't be found. It's great. It's a great relief. Yeah. And then you're what? Available and present to the moment. Yeah. Yeah. In any way it may look. Yeah. Yeah. But you're here and you're always here. Yeah. You never get gypped. You're here sleeping, you're here awake, you're here everywhere. So, yep. All right, everyone, Kathleen.
Everyone and anyone have a banter for Paul. You just reminded me of, when you're talking about the things that are hidden in plain sight. It
Yeah.
happened to me today. I had my cell phone like standing up on the counter and I looked all over this place. It was just hidden in plain sight, standing there. But it reminded me of this other thing I learned from you. If you know that you don't know, life will be revelatory.
Yes, for sure. It is. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And also, it's a nice, healthy expectation. It's sort of like being at it's a great restaurant with a great chef, but the plate is empty, and then something keeps bringing you something. Yeah. And there's an expectancy of it, and you're sort of jacked up. You're excited in a way. Yeah. Because you don't know what's going on, but you have a faith that the chef is great and this restaurant seems to have been reliable. So, yeah, I throw away the menu. I give it all to you. Give me a blank plate. Bring it on. Yeah, it's a nice way to go. Yeah, yeah. Traveling lighter. Do you think they're going to measure how much you traveled lighter in your 80 years or something? There's no scales. Scales are for things. Yeah. Measurements are of things. This is a subjective dreaming. There's no way you can sort of categorize or value what has occurred. Yeah. It's the seeing is the value. It's the awareness is the value, not what it's aware of, but the awareness itself is the true value. Yeah. 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 I remember when I was young, and Amelia knows, and every time I go surfing, I come out with a smile on my face as a little kid. It worked like all the time. Yeah. And it would be easy to think that the surfing is what gave me the bliss, but it didn't. Yeah. The surfing teased out something that was already there. And it was a wonder and a grace in my life that I had found something that did that. Yeah. But it was not the only thing that can do it. Yes. And sometimes a lot of things you love, life takes away, not as any kind of punishment, but there's usually a replacement, yes, in some other form. Yeah, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So I would have been super bummed out when I couldn't surf anymore, boogie board anymore. But I really wasn't, because it was an incredible run I had coming back from the operation, and I was full of satisfaction far out. Now I'll swim or something. You know what I mean? And I tell Amelia, really, my day is made when I just go to the lagoon and swim for 15 minutes. It's sort of like, well, that's the cherry on the top of the whole day, basically. Amelia's present is always what is the cake. It's the fruit pie.
Started already.
Yeah. No, it is. Amelia is not on my skin, she's in my skin. It's already there. So there's this
Under your skin.
yeah, it's just yeah. So
Ouch. Be scratching.
I better shut up now before there's some shit happens in the garage.
I had a question.
You have a question? All right. Chris has a question here. Yeah.
There's a new carrot out there in the non-duality world, where it has been there for a while. I noticed it's called embodied awakening. And it's not only that you're awakened and you got the awakening, now you got this other carrot that you have to embody it in your
Who
everyday
has
life.
to?
And I don't know what it means.
Yes.
Embodied.
Embodied.
Oh, okay.
That's a new embodied awakening. So then when you're talking about the Tibetan guy who's going dementia,
Yeah.
apparently he was embodied. And now what happens?
He fucked up.
Away,
He fucked up and got unembodied.
Yeah, he's back to ground zero or something.
That's the problem with embodied. It has its opposite,
Yeah.
with as much possibility unembodied. You're not going to find stability in duality.
No.
So no,
With
yeah.
the body, no
Yeah.
stability in the
What's embodied can be unembodied. That's true. And so while you're embodied, you're worried when the day of unembodiedment's going to occur.
They throw that at you.
Wow, that's too much. Yeah.
Teaching.
Yeah, got to do more. Yes.
Yeah. Gotta go again.
Yeah. Yeah. Non-duality. It's the same as every year I've ever heard it. But no, now there's a new phase, embodying it. What are the signs that it's embodied? Very large, big toes. All right. Or some fucking crazy thing.
Yeah, I don't know what it means.
They're going to have a committee that, gives you like a checkup, checks out if your body is full of non-duality. And where it's built up, it may be near the sphincter. You're full of shit.
You'll have embodiment stations, and then you can top off.
That's
Top
funny.
off.
That's funny. Yes. Nice. All right. Well, thank you for that, Chris. You've just added another obstacle to the course, to the no course. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Anyone else? Oh yeah, we have William. Was William Stamps up there? Ooh. I want you guys to watch.
Yep.
I'm unembodied right now. I'm embodied. Unembodied. Embodied. Unembodied. Now watch. You can catch it.
I just saw it, Paul.
You can catch it. Yeah. Yeah. Watch. Keep it. Get your eyes clear. All right. You missed it. See? Yeah.
Where are you going?
You caught me. I'm unembodied. Let me put on my gear. I'm embodied. All right, yeah.
William, you're not muted. If you wanted to speak, you can.
Oh, I'm okay. I'm listening. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
I'm fine.
You know, whatever, yes. Anyone else? Please don't look up embodied non-duality, please. This is what happens, you know. If you show a book, the people always email me, what's the book? Fuck the book, yes. You are what you're looking for. You're not on page 87. Yeah, yes. You're going to be the centerfold of the embodied Playboy magazine, non-duality. There's the centerfold for January. Ah, wow. What an embodied awaken. Wow. We're always gonna, I talked to a friend of mine, love her to death stuff. And just people, I don't know, I don't want to go into it, but there's always going to be more. Yeah. Like if you get clear on your family of origin on Earth, someone's gonna come up with a new idea that you have a family of origin in Mars. You have to clear up. Yes, and because you're actually made out of stardust, so whatever, yeah. So you got to go to Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, yeah, and clear, you know what I mean? Just more and more. It's just more and more. Yeah. This is about being freed from the need to be liberated. Yeah, it is. The need to be liberated is an activity of what you're not. Yeah. What you're not needs to be liberated. It keeps trying to be liberated, but it doesn't realize its own programming. Self can't get out of self. So it has a huge drive to whatever would represent being liberated from itself as itself, it's into. Yeah. This is being liberated from that need to be liberated. Yeah. This is the liberation of me. Let's just say if you were a noble type of character and you heard this new thing, embodiment of something, you would now start having to, okay, whatever. You're totally free from the need to move about any of this stuff. Yeah. Yeah. That's the greatness of it. Yeah. You've already gone enough dead ends that they're all dead ends. Yeah. I think that almost all of us, I hope, have reached that enough where you're not, when you look down a dead end, you see the dead end. You don't see, oh, there could be a turn I'm missing. No, you fell for that. Yeah. You know there's a it's a dead end. So you just keep moving. And then where you're at is more than sufficient. It's more than enough than all of these promises of it being better down these alleys. Yeah. 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 So this is truly about being relieved of the need to be liberated, being relieved of the need to do more, being relieved of another accomplishment that's promising a finalized relief. Yeah. Being relieved of all of those plans to get relief. Yeah. Yeah. It's the way, the way we look, because it has nothing to do with looking, not looking clearer, looking farther, looking longer, looking higher. Yeah. It has nothing to do with that. That's why when I was looking, I was missing it completely. And then I just heard I heard the messages or the underlying principles in satsang. And while I was sitting there, I was brought to a lot of ends. Yeah. It was over. It was brought to a point. There was no more, there was no need to go over the point anymore. It was done. Hands up, fucking futility galore. Yeah, now it's a hallelujah. Yeah. And then there was there was a need for 4 or 5 of those events. And then it was easy, clear sailing. Yeah. Yeah. Sort of like all the leakage points of interest and attention got sort, the leaks were fixed. And so you weren't leaking all day, constantly looking, instead of smelling the roses right now, looking for a better, more interesting exotic rose. Yeah, at the expense of smelling that rose that's here right now, giving you its aroma or whatever the scent. Yeah. So not that expense is too much of an expense to pay. Yeah. So here you are, not because many reasons, you can't be anywhere fucking else. Yeah, this is the thing. I wanted to get out of here since I was 6 years old. It was a stubborn urge. And when it met addiction, it really was like a fucking Siamese twins of hellish dimensions. Yeah. And after the addiction to alcohol and drugs, that urge found a new place to express, which was spirituality, spiritual practices, getting higher, not eating and meditating in long periods and all this. It was the same, just a different fucking dead end road. Yeah. But at least I finally, it went to such a point that I could not be unconvinced. It was just done see, a lot of things point to stairs. Non-duality pushes you down the stairs. Yeah. So you hit a stair of misunderstanding as you go down. And hopefully it was a long enough stair. By the time you hit the floor, it's over. Yeah. You're just fucking, that's it. Yeah. And therefore you don't spend a second looking for what can't be found. Yeah. You just don't. You're just here. And it's like a prisoner who has like 8 life sentences finally accepts his condition. Yeah, same way. I wanted to get out of here a lot. And then I just suddenly, there was an acceptance that I'm never getting out of here. Yeah, as that which is in here. And it just became peaceful in a sense, which was mind-boggling. Yeah. So I hope some of these effects will take their own little machinations with you and you'll just travel lighter. Yes. Enjoy what's available and be available to others to enjoy. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Anyone? Kathleen? I'm digging this garage shot setting. We're starting a whole new phase. Yes, we are. Everyone starts getting overalls, stuff like this. Yeah. We'll just come and wipe your windshields. You know what I mean? You know how many people I talked to in cars that was talking about clarity and their windshields were incredibly fucking dirty. I said, just clean the windshield. You'll see better. They're talking about clarity. Your windshields are fucking dirty. Just put the water on. Yeah, there you go. That's clarity. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Anyone else? No? That's
Anyone
good.
have any question or comments for Paul this evening?
No, thank you.
Looks like you have a nice quiet little crowd here, Paul.
Kathleen, it's been a pleasure to know you, Kathleen. Yes,
Thank
I'm
you.
very
Ditto.
happy to see you wear relief well. It's very nice, very becoming.
Thank you, Paul. Thank
Welcome.
you. Ditto. Ditto to you, my friend.
Yes, yes. Dennis, nice to see you, my friend there. We got Eric. He's either driving away from Vista or towards Vista. William Stamps, nice to see you, my friend. Zoe Banks, yes. Dana, how are you, hon? You look very comfortable there. Yeah. David, down under. Nice to see you. James Olson with the nefarious Alan Olson. All right. The Olsen brothers. Kerry. Doesn't look like Kerry. Hey, hon. How are you? Oh, there he is. Jumped in there. Mika from Finland. Steve in San Diego. There he is. Mike M. Nice to see you, Mike. Yeah. Chris B. Yeah, this was very nice. Some phone numbers. Sam, another Chris, Christine Marie from is one of the islands, Hawaiian Islands. Phone number, Susanna W. An old, not an old person, but an old friend. And yeah, thank you, everyone. We'll see you soon. Today is Wednesday. We have a recovery meeting tomorrow, Pacific time, 10:30. And then Saturday, we have a live meeting at the garage, 1 o'clock Pacific time.
Yeah. Bring a
Yes,
band.
and
Yeah.
We could bang.
yes.